First of all, I want to congratulate once again the United States that will host the FIFA World Cup for the second time, the first one being the 1994 edition. Within this context, I commend, of course, the effort that has been made by President Donald Trump in the economic development context in order to make this project achievable. I will start from a sports perspective before going to other contexts of action by speaking about the fact that the United States can build up now a national team of soccer that is seen as one of the future because as we have seen the elimination from the 2018 FIFA World Cup during the qualifiers has been a shocking result for the US soccer that has been progressing ever since the 1990 edition. The result of these new players, the new coach, 1-1 versus France, is an encouraging result for the team in order to build up for the next continental fixtures as well as the 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers in order to prepare for the tournaments that will be hosted in the United States. And the United States soccer team has qualified, by the way, with this automatic host berth for the 11th time for the FIFA World Cup. The perspective of the organization of events that are related to global sports, as we know, is very important because the FIFA World Cup 2026 will be followed by the Summer Olympics of Los Angeles in 2028. And also from a Pan American and CONCACAF perspective, let's get back to that project that was spoken about a few months ago, the 2020 potential Copa America, but never have been followed through. But that could be brought up again within the perspective of preparing in a Pan American context with the teams of the CONCACAF and the CONMEBOL tournament before the FIFA World Cup. There is also the CONCACAF Gold Cup. The 2019 edition will be hosted in the United States, the country that have been hosting this event ever since its creation, while co-hosting as well two editions with Mexico and one with Canada. The CONCACAF Cup, in case you have to use it to between codes qualify to the FIFA Confederations Cup, is also something that could be an experience in terms of matters of organization at the continental level. But there is also the FIFA events that could be also added in this context. Besides the FIFA World Cup finals, is the 2025 potential Confederations Cup that takes place in the host countries 1 year before the FIFA World Cup, as well as the playoff tournament of the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, as it has been established for 48 teams. They're gonna be a tournament with the teams from different confederations that will meet in the host country before the closing the qualifiers to catch the last berths of the 48 ones that are available. Nevertheless, between quotes, between brackets, sorry, I do not agree still, and I will not agree with the format of groups of three. That is very unfair for a team to wait for the two others to conclude the final standings of the group stage of each group. The importance of this in the context of the NAFTA and the North American economy is very important, but we should not forget that there is also a perspective of realities, and that we have seen just recently differences with Canada on trade and with Mexico on immigration. Donald Trump has done a lot of good results ever since he is at the White House, and I think critics are coming from everywhere, and it's not analyzing the perspective that the president is working for, and it's very sad to see all this going on. the importance of the national development, the national economy to grow up is what the president is working for. I think that Canada's policy on trade, as President Trump has mentioned, has to be better so it can benefit also the GDP of the United States. And when it comes to the situation of Mexico and the words used by former President Vicente Fox on Twitter towards Trump, who is really just doing his job, is something that I found really tough because we speak here about an importance of cooperation and importance of partnership and several realities. So it's very important to straighten things up when it comes to the potential opportunity that North America can offer in this context of action. So congratulations for Canada that will host the FIFA World Cup for the first time, and this is the second time that their national team will play in the World Cup. Mexico is going to be the 17th time when we count the automatic qualification, and it is the third time that Mexico will host the FIFA World Cup, which is a record right now because we have Germany, France, Italy, Brazil, and now the United States with two organizations each, and Mexico will have three with the few games that they are organizing along the joint bid with the United States. Nevertheless, like I said, there is an importance of cooperation, there is an importance of partnership. I had the opportunity to speak in the past within the context of the United Nations General Assembly, the 72nd session, during a conference on September the 18th on business for the SDGs in terms of innovation, technology, and connectivity for a better future of all, that took place at the United Nations headquarters at the ECOSOC chamber, with the presence also of the UNCTAD Secretary, Mr. Mukisa Kitui. So I had the opportunity to speak, as I said, with Mr. Agustin Garcia Lopez Loaiza, who is representing Amexid within the Mexican delegation participating at the 72nd session. Amexid is the equivalent from a national perspective to the USAID in the United States or the UNDP in the UN system. So that opportunity to speak about the several topics on economic development, including the North American bid to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup that got the answer today, as a concrete opportunity for NAFTA that has to be seen within a promising objective perspective. I would say as well, hard luck to Morocco, who presented an outstanding bid. It's the fifth time that Morocco has bid to host the FIFA World Cup, and it's a challenge because it's the first country from the CAF zone to try to host a 48 teams FIFA World Cup versus a whole continent, the North American continent. And I would like to commend the endeavors of His Majesty King Mohammed VI within this context of action and all the efforts that he deployed, because this candidatures has been very promoted and works really well in terms of perspective with different countries in Europe and other parts of the world, and there was a very good international promotion. And unfortunately for Morocco, I think there will be a greater opportunities in the future, especially the FIFA Club World Cup in example, that I do believe the country must host two other editions, because if we compare it to the situation of the United Arab Emirates that hosted it in 2009 and 2010, the FIFA came back and awarded the Emirates the edition of 2017 and 2018. I would say that Morocco could also go to host the FIFA Club World Cup after hosting it twice in the past within the very few next upcoming years. The opportunity to host the FIFA Under 20 World Cup, the FIFA Under 17 World Cup is also something that must be considered by Morocco. Why not FIFA official women's event as well? The possibility to host the CAF African Nations Cup with 24 teams very soon is also a great project that could be realized in Morocco, I believe. The kingdom has the vocation for high level sports events at the Mediterranean Francophone spheres, as well as in Africa and in the Pan Arab region. So looking forward to seeing the opportunity now to get back at scale regarding the geography of the organization. We know that UEFA has had the World Cup 11 times, the Common Ball 5 times, CONCACAF now 4 times, the AFC twice, and the CAF once. But since I speak about the next FIFA World Cup, I am looking forward to seeing how the Qatar Organizational Committee is going through, because we spoke about 32 teams tournaments that could be expanded to 48 teams tournaments following the proposal by all the 10 countries of the Common Ball today in Moscow. But Qatar is having difficulties in order to get ready for the World Cup that will take place normally there in 4 years and a half time, which means more time than any other country to host the World Cup. And 8 stadiums, will that be enough for 64 to more games in the tournament? I'm following the situation, and I get back also within the context of leveraging the World Cup as a mega sporting event, and the human rights risks and the worker welfare reform in Qatar, and the speculations that have been spoken about before. I mean, we know that the scale of corporations were staggering and not necessarily positive, because between 2010 and 2013, more than 1,200 labor migrants working in Qatar's construction sector died, with another 4,000 deaths projected, according to the statistics, by the start of the event. Foreign workers are subject to conditions of forced labor, human trafficking, and indefinite detention by Qatari authorities. Advocacy groups cite the deplorable living and working conditions coupled with lax legal protections for workers as the main culprits, and absent significant improvements in worker welfare made Qatar's World Cup, as well as already remembered, as a human rights tragedy. So we know that the Arab region has that is split up between the CAF and the AFC zone has not hosted the FIFA World Cup yet, and it has been awarded that for the very first time with Qatar. But are we going to see advancement in this preparation and to have Qatar being ready in the fall winter of 2022? And I would also remind that the analysis of the worker welfare and the elements of the problem that are based on demographic, economic, political, and also legal elements, as well as the factor of migration life cycle. So stay tuned for now, and looking forward to checking the importance of the mega sports events. As I said, the FIFA World Cup and the Summer Olympics are the two main big events by far. Even like I said, there are other events like the Winter Olympics and others that are important, but those two events are very, very important, and their role in achieving the sustainable development goals within 2030 is also a very important thing to focus on. Thank you.